A misunderstood passage. Nguyen Thuy Linh asked, "Master, I still have questions." If someone does not realize this, read the article What is Anatta? What is ego? When hearing the above sentence, they will get caught up in egoism, in individualism, which will be very dangerous. I still don't really understand what this passage means, teacher. Venerable Kassapa, you should know, all things arise from causes and conditions and also cease because of causes and conditions. This arises because that arises, this ceases because that ceases. That is the principle of dependent origination that I have discovered through meditation. In reality, there is nothing identical and unchanging. There is no self, whether great or small. Venerable Kassapa, have you ever contemplated the body, feelings, thoughts, mental formations, and consciousness? A human being exists because of the gathering and functioning of these 5 aggregates. They are streams of continuous change, in which there is not a single permanent element. Reply: I don't teach theory. Because when I talk about theory, I'm sinking you into vague, obscure, meaningless theories that are not beneficial to you, and I'm just showing off my knowledge and lying to those who don't know. The teacher only teaches the practice method so that I can attain the truth, then I will understand Buddhism clearly like the teacher. For example, I have overcome many difficulties to get to Saigon Market. Now, I will teach you the ways to get to Saigon Market. If you want to know what the Saigon Market is like, you should also overcome the difficulties you will encounter. When you come to the Saigon Market, you will see the same thing as I do. If I only describe the Saigon Market to you, I will poison you and lead you into ignorance through imagination and far-fetched dreams. I was so lost in my dreams that I forgot what was necessary. I had to study and learn how to overcome difficulties to get to the Saigon Market. That was what was necessary. Therefore, I advise you, when reading the 4 Noble Truths, do you agree that you are drowning in the stinking bait of fame and profit? Do you agree that your life is temporary, that it is birth, aging, sickness, and death? Do you want to overcome suffering? If you agree, then you should read 8 Noble Paths, 12 Causes and Conditions, 37 Supports to Enlightenment, 5 Aggregates and 6 Senses, 6 Objects, 6 Consciousness, then start practicing to overcome the stream of greed like me. Then, what you want to know will appear as truth before your eyes. It's that simple. Just like if you want to have a cake, you follow your master's teachings and you will have a cake. But if you ask about the theory of the cake, you will fall into the theory forever, but you will not be able to make that cake. Because the theory will lead you to sink into thinking and far-fetched thoughts. Until I die, there will be no cake. Why don't I start making it as my master taught me to have the cake first? Okay, I'll hold the cake up and look at it, and slowly think about it. It's not too late. Buddha taught the man who was shot by an arrow, let me save you first. If not, when you die, how will you know the answer you want to ask? However, it would be better if you kept quiet. But since you have already given me advice, you should at least give me a rough idea of what I want to know. Otherwise, I will think and distort. What if he doesn't know? He just said it to get away with it. Simply put, the above sentence teaches Kassapa, all things are impermanent, let go of everything, don't cling to the ego anymore. 1. The saying there is no great self, no small self means there is only me. The reason we cling to the self is because we attach ourselves to what is around us, which becomes our self-grasping. That means, only then does the self exist. Because we cling to the self, we compare the great self and the small self. From there is the great ego and the small ego through our consciousness only. Craving. To make it easier for you to understand, your body has nothing. Now, you put on a shirt, put on a jade bracelet or an Omega watch. At that time, you cling to the ego, this shirt is mine, and this jade bracelet is mine, the Omega watch is mine. From ego, we think this shirt is more beautiful, this bracelet is more expensive, this Omega watch is more magnificent. With ego, there must be comparison, right? If you don't wear anything, don't carry anything, then those things have nothing to do with you, so why would you cling to them? Right? If you don't cling to them, then there is no more ego. right? 2. The above quoted verse is misunderstood by monks and taught wrongly to Buddhists. How dangerous! Here, I will clearly explain the above verse so that you will not be mistaken. A. Master Min Chao, he practiced Mahayana, and he was led astray by the evil religion into consciousness, that is to say, he was misunderstood and mistakenly believed that the mind has consciousness, has spirituality, has knowing mind, so he translated it as mental activities, mental thoughts, mental consciousness. That translation is not correct. B. What a pity for the monastic life of Master Min Chao. If Master Min Chao still had time to practice through the true Dharma, contained in the Nikaya Sutras, which he had painstakingly translated into Vietnamese for more than 20 years with more than 43 thick volumes of sutras, and he was plagued by paralysis because of translating the sutras, if you realize, you must realize, then you will see, you are translating wrongly with that mental action, that mental thought, that consciousness. Why is that? Because there are many organs in our body. Each organ has its own function. For example, 1. We have 5 aggregates: form, feeling, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. Each aggregate has its own function. Imagination tends to satisfy our greed. Consciousness, form, tends to be upward, wanting us to be good people. Perception, acceptance, and analysis give us feelings. Action is the thunder for us to command. Consciousness, don't pay attention, because when you practice and attain the 3 knowledges, consciousness will start to work. 2. We have 6 senses, each sense has its own function. The 6 senses receive 6 objects, from the 6 sense objects, when the 6 sense objects are brought in. Feelings give us hot or cold, rough or slippery, painful or smooth, soft or hard, fragrant or foul. When entering the color, one knows blue or red, white or yellow, beautiful or ugly, good or evil. From there comes the choice, called consciousness. Consciousness is knowing and choosing. Therefore, through the 6 senses, there is consciousness. This choice is made by the mind and consciousness. Whichever side wins, I will follow that side and give orders to the action. For example, I am the king, and the mind and consciousness are the flatterers and loyal ministers, that's it. 3. As for the mind, it is like a child. It only likes and demands pleasure, it does not know and cannot choose. So the mind has no spirituality or consciousness at all. Mind only likes to nag and demand pleasure, just like a child, likes to eat, likes to sleep, likes to play. When she sees a light, she grabs it, regardless of whether it is hot or cold. When she burned her hand and healed it, now she grabs it when she sees a light, without fear of anything. Too obvious, right? The mind is just like that. Children, whatever adults teach them, they do exactly that. Teach them that there are nonsense gods, when they grow up they will also believe in nonsense Buddha and God. Teach them to live for their stomach, when they grow up, because of their stomach they will become slaves to material things. Since birth, the mind is familiar with the way it is nurtured, pampered, and caressed by parents and relatives. And the older the body gets, the stronger the familiarity grows, enveloping the mind. The special thing is that the mind gets used to thinking too early and pursues thinking all its life. Therefore, it is easy for the mind to accept and learn to satisfy the desires of the body. After our mind matures, our consciousness knows it is wrong. Now directing our mind to give up wrong desires is indeed extremely difficult. If you want to give up greed, you must practice. If you want to practice successfully, you must always, regularly, and for a long time, use the right method of intention to gradually erase the wrong images that have been covering the mind. Thanks to that, the mind gradually accepts the good Dharma. Please experience it yourself, don't believe in Master Tan Tien. Master Tan Tien has achieved it and sees it, just record it as it is, no leakage. The Buddha taught Kalama that, when something happens, don't believe it and don't stop listening to it. Have right views and right thoughts to clearly understand whether it is good or bad. If it is good, you should accept it, because good is always beneficial to your life. 4. We practice here to practice the mind, which means we erase the wrong images of the past that are covering the mind. This erroneous past has been bound by countless invisible strings. To cut off the invisible strings, we must use the invisible method, which is the right intention that Buddha taught us. Because of bad habits, it slowly covers the mind, progressing from birth until consciousness matures. Therefore, we must use the method of correct intention, always, regularly and for a long time, to gradually erase the wrong images that are covering the mind. When the mind is clear, then we direct our mind towards good dharma. Thanks to that, we can practice and attain the truth. 5. Obviously, the mind has no knowing mind. The mind has no spirituality. The mind has no consciousness at all. The mind is just the mind. The mind is the organ that receives things from the six senses and passes them through the mind or conscious choice. After the choice is made, we order the court to do the work. Just like in court, the flatterers and loyalists argue, the king likes which side then orders the court to do the work. The king likes flatterers more, because flatterers speak sweet words, are pleasing to the ear, pleasing to the heart, and satisfy the king's lust. One beauty is not enough, adding a beauty queen is not enough. So flatterers built the south, north, east, west palaces, so the king can enjoy all 4 seasons. The king was not satisfied. The flatterers went all out. They captured all the men serving in the palace and castrated them, so that the king would have no more doubts or worries. Example 1. The mind brings images of the opposite sex to the mind. The mind demands, the arousal machine works. At this very moment, imagination and consciousness compete, leading us to a decision. If the imagination is too strong, we act violently. If the consciousness is a little strong, we slowly flirt and caress. If consciousness were a little stronger, we would let it go. Consciousness is always weaker than imagination. In addition, the mind wants pleasure and wants to satisfy its desires. Therefore, we often follow the thoughts of the mind and do not like the consciousness. That's it. Example 2. The mind brings food to the heart. The heart demands, the stomach works. Strong thoughts make us eat. When consciousness appears, we still have to choose and eat. When consciousness is strong, we stop eating. Consciousness is always weaker than imagination, but through practice and training, consciousness rises to almost the level of imagination. There is one more thing to understand: you cannot kill flatterers. If you kill flatterers, the king will die. You can only kill loyal ministers. Consciousness cannot kill and is very necessary for us. Consciousness can kill, like the insane. They are no longer conscious, but they are still alive. Like a pig-brained man, they have no consciousness. But they are still alive. They only know how to eat, sleep, make love and be rude to those who taught them. 6. Be clear for us to understand. If the mind were the knowing mind, the conscious mind, the spirituality, then why would we need to become a monk? The mind wanders, until one day the mind realizes its mistake, then the mind chooses good dharma, and that's it. We become saints. There's no need to become a monk and get tired, because we practice is to put our mind into living in good dharma. Master Tan Tien explains very clearly, right? We practice to bring our mind into the field of goodness. Only by living in the field of goodness can we enter meditation. Only by entering meditation can we attain the truth. To make it easier to understand, the baby is very important to the mother. If the mother wants to work, she has to coax the baby to be still. If the baby is still, the mother can work. If the baby is nagging, the mother cannot do anything. If the baby is good, the mother can rest in peace. If the baby is naughty and makes trouble, the mother gets upset. When we attain it, we see it clearly like that. No leakage. 7. Right in this passage of scripture, if the practitioner does not practice, he will misunderstand, which Master Thong Lak calls birds learning human language. But Mr. Tan Tien advised, we must understand through practice, but understanding through theory and school terminology will lead us into a forest of vague theories. In this passage it is written, when this Dharma dies, that Dharma dies. When this Dharma arises, that Dharma arises. It is impossible to understand that when this Dharma dies, that Dharma ceases, when this Dharma arises, that Dharma arises, because a Dharma is a unit. Whether it is combined to form another Dharma or a mass, one Dharma ceases while another Dharma still exists. Buddha taught only to humans and humans only. That is the 12 causes and conditions. If there is this cause, there will be that cause. And if one cause is destroyed, all the other causes and conditions will disappear. Buddha taught not to believe in the scriptures. Besides, why did Buddha teach people the 12 causes and effects? Because humans know suffering, know birth, aging, sickness, death, and know how to practice to be liberated, no longer make people suffer. Because in these 12 causes and conditions, it also includes the word suffering. Someone asked Buddha, Venerable Gautama, is it I who cause me suffering? Not so. Do other people make us suffer? Not so. Are we making ourselves miserable? Not so. So why do we suffer, Venerable Gautama? That's 12 causes and conditions. It's obvious, isn't it? Only the 12 links of dependent origination have the principle that, if there is this link, there will be that link. If one link is destroyed, the other 11 links will all disappear. It is not, if this Dharma exists, that Dharma exists, if that Dharma is destroyed, this Dharma disappears. You misunderstood. If this Dharma exists, there is a table, if that Dharma exists, there is a chair. Obviously, the table breaks but the chair is still intact. 8. These 12 causes and conditions are the practice taught by Buddha, and Master Thong Lak skillfully explains them to practitioners so that they can clearly understand them through the 12 doors to the path. It means that the practitioner practices to destroy a door to attain enlightenment. Don't misunderstand that destroying means demolishing like demolishing a house. Rather, it is practicing to have the ability to destroy a cause to attain enlightenment. Master Thong Lak taught that the easiest way for practitioners is to break the door of birth. This is proof for Buddhists to know. All the famous monks and nuns in the world do not know that the 12 causes and conditions are the practice to attain the truth, right? Only Arhat Thich Thong Lak knows. Because they don't know, they teach Buddhists wrongly. They say that birth means giving birth. Because of misunderstanding and wrong teaching, monks get married and have children, and the people raise them, saving them the effort. Mahayana monks are truly blessed. Children can practice, but why do they need to be profound, knowledgeable, or have high Buddhist teachings? They just need to know how to raise many decoys to be famous in society and become rich and wealthy. 9. Because I don't have much time left to teach the Dharma, I teach so that whoever can take notes and learns, please take notes. By the way, let me tell you the story between Buddhist Li Chan and Grand Master Thich Tam Tin. Master Tam Tin taught that Buddha also killed people unintentionally. Li Chan said, I can't believe this. How could a Buddha accidentally kill someone? Unbelievable, unbelievable. Master Tan Tien explained, the truth is still the truth. As long as Buddha lives in this world, there is still cause and effect. Because Buddha still eats, drinks, bathes, does laundry, and has relationships, he still kills people. Why is that? Because there are germs killed. Germs are living beings to Buddha. In addition, Buddha also preached the Dharma, which means Buddha also caused trouble with evil religions. Evil religions and their followers are people-headed and pig-brained, considering Buddha as an enemy. They consider the true Dharma to be incompatible, so clearly there is still cause and effect, right? Only when the majority of Buddhists need the Dharma can we save the pig-brained people according to the Dharma, so that we can enjoy the most wonderful human morality and karma in the world. Only then will the karma be lighter. Why do arhats want to leave this world so quickly after attaining enlightenment? Because they are afraid of cause and effect. They see that their fate is over, staying will not help anything, and the more cause and effect, the heavier the debt, making it difficult for them to enter nirvana. That's it. If there are many Buddhists willing to practice and follow the Dharma, then they will stay and teach the Dharma, right? Most Buddhists only like the Dharma, but have not yet fully committed themselves to practicing the Dharma. Is that right? As a disciple, I directly take refuge in Master Thong Lak, but I still eat animal lives. How sad.